Yo, what's up, everybody? It's DFS Dudes. It's Monday. I'm back with Chris Robin, aka the Detroit Beastie. We are here to present to you our NHL morning skate for Monday, March the 2nd. We're in March. That's crazy. Really good
I'm
weekend.
so happy. Sorry I cut you off.
It's gonna warm up, right?
It's already it's 51 today. It's like people are walking around in shorts and their Bahama button ups.
Yeah, because it was like 7, right?
Yeah, 10,
Yeah,
7
yeah,
with the
yeah,
wind chill -10.
yeah. Really good weekend for DFS. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure that you click subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of the live videos that we do for NHL, NFL, NBA. We've got PGA, NASCAR, and MLB coming up. If you're playing season long MLB, make sure you run over to the site and check out all the free season long content that we have up on the site right now. We've got everything from future prospects, deep dives on prospects, to a mock draft for the first 20 rounds. Chris has put out a ton of content for MLB season long. And we're only like 23 or 24 days away from the start of the season.
That's it.
And NASCAR killed this weekend. We've got content for the Xfinity race that happens on Saturday. Somebody won $5,500 yesterday. Our Discord is where it's at. The link for that is down below as well. So don't miss out any of the stuff that we've got going on the site. Without further ado, it's Monday. We've got hockey. It's only a 2-game slate, but let's get into it, man. How you doing?
I'm great. The slate is it's an odd one. Do you mean how am I personally or how am I DFS wise? I should
I'm
start off.
always worried about how you're doing personally first.
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. The people probably care more about tonight as far as the NHL action is concerned. And as I was saying, the slate tonight, it's an odd circumstance tonight because it's only 2 games. And as the hockey season starts to wind down, they're going to start getting into playoff pushes. And then nights like tonight, you have 2 games and one team is more lopsided than the other, in Colorado, who's in Detroit tonight. So Colorado 1 and 2, not to get into it right off the bat, but I already know, and anybody already knows, Colorado is going to be 80-90% owned, and I'm not even exaggerating. So with tonight, we need to come up with a different plan of attack as far as that's concerned. A different strategy, different one-offs, players that we can get in there to combat the Colorado 1 and 2 stack, which you and I have talked about it in length a few times, where as far as eating the chalk is concerned, tonight is one of those nights. You have no other options, right? So you're going to want to keep pace with, let's say, a Colorado 1, but who are those other stacks and who are those other teams we want tonight to set our lineups apart?
And let's get it. Let's start with this. First of all, Colorado's minus 300. They're minus 300. The over and under is 5.5. Vegas thinks is going to be like a 4-1 game for Colorado. And one thing that I think we have to take into consideration here is, what? Look, your Detroit team's not very good. They're not.
Absolutely
right?
not.
But they have been competitive. I mean, we look at the game against the Senators where we were kind of all in on that chalk, and Detroit, I believe, was on. They had 1 game rest in between, and that game was 2-1 Detroit for a long time. It was 1-0 Detroit for a long time. It was 3-3, and then the Senators pulled that one out kind of I believe that was a shootout game, right? So
correct, yes.
That's what you're looking for kind of on a night like tonight and on a 2-game slate, especially where there's only a 30-minute difference between when the 2 games start. You're looking for, it'd be great if Detroit, Colorado is minus 300. It's a 5.5 over under. Colorado's going to be chalk. It'd be great if Detroit put up 3 goals and this was a 4-3 game and there was some goodness on the Detroit side of it.
Agree. And do I think that's going to happen? The short answer is no. But for the purpose of what we're trying to do here with our content, yes, because I do have a nice Detroit 1 stack, which consists of Larkin, Mantha, and our only all-star Tyler Bertuzzi. So that's just one of those things. I mean, Detroit 1, they're not going to sneak up on you. You can get them in your lines. They're cheap, and it's more for lack of a better term, it's kind of like a filler stack, if that makes sense. So I could see getting Detroit 1 in your line if you're going to either fade Colorado or pivot away from Colorado. So there's just a lot of different combinations tonight that I like. And like I said, it's an odd circumstances, and I've been trying to put my finger on it since last night. And I think tonight in my article, I've done a good job explaining that to you on paper. I'm just trying to get it out to you from my mouth, if that makes any sense.
And anytime you have 2 game slates or you're playing a short slate, you have to try to get as many different combinations as you can because there's less variance, right? And you can
That's it.
get more coverage on the field because there is less variance than say a 6 or 10 game slate. There's way less variance, right? So
Yeah.
it becomes more about getting more exposure and getting leverage by getting plays that not everybody else is going to have. And you're not necessarily banking on those going off, but if they do go off, you're going to have them at a very low owned percentage. So you kind of you want to move on to the Edmonton game, or do you still have something you'd like to cover on?
Just a few short things. I could see Valtteri Filppula tonight, maybe getting one goal here. He plays on the second line, second power play line. He's only $3,800. He's one of those guys. He's like a Johan Franzen Holmstrom type guy, where out of the blue he puts in two goals in, or even a hat trick. Don't hold me to that. I'm not saying Filppula scores a hat trick by any means, but if he does, I guess it's on film now, let's say. But what more can you say about Colorado? They're riding a 6-game winning streak. They come to Detroit. Colorado's won their last 5 against. I mean, we could keep going and going about the accolades and what Colorado's done. So I think it's pretty clear from the video and when you read Hot Puck what I'm about tonight with this game.
Is Detroit finicky? I mean, are they selling that place out right now still, even though they're bad, or is it not sold out and it's
No, absolutely not.
looking like the Pistons play there?
Absolutely not. Yeah, they do share this Little Caesars Arena with the Pistons. And last season, real quick, the brand new seats were all red, right? So even at the start of last season, nobody was going. And then on TV and on highlights, you could see how empty it was. So the Illiches put more money into the place to change the seat colors to black, because on film and on TV, a black seat for some reason makes it look like it's filled, and it makes the stadium look less empty. But it's not packed on a daily basis, no. Which is sad, because Joe Louis had we had the longest running playoff streak, we had the longest running sellout streak, and it's all just poof, gone.
Gone. Moving on. Edmonton's at Nashville, final game of the night. Nashville minus 140. This has a 6 over under. It starts right after. So, I think that there's some goodness in this game. And I think from a leverage standpoint off Colorado, this is more or less what you're looking to get. It's leverage in this spot with Edmonton and Nashville. But who do you like on both sides of this?
Well, I like Nashville's second line. Forsberg, Turris, and Granlund. They all play on the second line, but all 3 guys play on their first power play unit tonight. I also like Edmonton too. Anytime Edmonton is on the ice, I want to get their second line in. I mean, Edmonton won with McDavid. That's a no-brainer. But he is a point per game guy, but he's expensive. And on Edmonton too, you're getting Nugent Hopkins, Leon, and a new addition, and not a new addition to the team, but a new addition to their second line, Alex Chason. All 3 guys on the second line, and all 3 guys, surprisingly, on the first power play unit. And if I may continue, I see this being a trap game for Edmonton here. Nashville they're home at Bridgestone. It's a wild environment, and Nashville they're scrounging and they're scrappy. They're looking for points. They're looking to get into that second wild card spot here, and I know we're not in the business of picking winners of the games. I'm not a psychic, but I think that Nashville wins tonight. I'm going to say 3-1, 4-2 ish, and people are going to think that it's it's gravy stacking, seeing if they can fit in Edmonton 1 and Colorado 1, or Edmonton 2 and Colorado 1. Like, it's a no-brainer. I can't lose. I got Colorado. I got Edmonton in there. I'm just saying, be careful here. I have a suspicious feeling that Nashville 2 and a couple one-offs of their first line are going to be in the final line of a team that hits big tonight. A guy that takes down a tournament.
And just kind of a segue to our new piece in the net, right? Which features a breakdown of goalies, a cash game goalie recommendation, a mid-tier, a high value, and a low value guy. The point for me tonight is we kind of grinded out some stats on Detroit over the weekend, and they're only getting off 27 shots a game, right?
Bad, yeah.
Is this a situation? And this is a situation to me where I think you'd get the most leverage, right? A Pekka Ryan, perhaps over Pavel tonight, because Detroit may not get very many shots, and on FanDuel it's 0.8 fantasy points per save. This could be a shot where he only gets 22, 23 saves and maybe gives up one goal, or maybe he does get the shutout. But my point being, too, at 9,000. He may be super chalky, and in cash games, you may not be able to get around it. He may be 90% owned in cash games. We don't ever recommend playing cash on a 2-game slate because too much can happen. But if you're going to play cash games, if you're going to play cash games, I can see obviously where Pavel is one. He's just chalk. 80% owned. But with the limited amount of shots on goal that Detroit gets, you can have a good opportunity to get field leverage, maybe with going with Ryan or Smith in the other game, because these two teams both get off more shots on goal than Detroit does.
Correct. Well, I have to correct you. Michael Hutchinson is confirmed for Colorado tonight in goal. And
is he? I didn't see that.
He is, yes. And I, especially in DFS and just in life in general, you never want to get into sure things, right? But Hutch tonight in Detroit, he's as sure thing for a win as you can get, right? With their minus 300, Detroit is not good. I would say he's a really safe bet for a win. But as far as accumulating points, the shots aren't going to be there. So I know you just said we don't like to play cash games on a 2-game slate, but obviously that doesn't stop people from doing that. So if you're going to play cash games tonight, I think Michael Hutchinson is the safest bet. He's only 7,100 on FanDuel. That's super cheap, and he's 7,900 on DraftKings. And as far as a win is concerned, we'll take those points. A shutout is definitely in the cards tonight. Again, don't lock a sure thing in on Stone, because I'm not that kind of guy. But a win is, man, it's almost as sure as it gets, right? And then as far as Nashville is concerned, Saros was the last guy off in the morning skate. So he's projected to start in front of Rene tonight. He's only $8,300. DraftKings, he's the same price. Personally, I don't see a reason to spend $8,000 for a goalie tonight, but I know with such a small slate, we need to pivot. We need to be different than the masses here. So if I had to choose a guy, it'd be Saros, or even we'll transition into Mike Smith, Edmonton, another guy. He was first off the ice at morning skate this morning, so he's projected as well. Only $8,100 on FanDuel, even cheaper on DraftKings at $7,000. And but as I said, I have to
tell you, man, I really like the fact that Hutchinson is the first guy off the ice, and he's projected to be the starter today. And you said he's already confirmed. So look at this guy. Hutchinson hasn't had a real great run. If you look at the 4 of his last 5 games, he's given up 3 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals. He did get a win against Ottawa. We only gave up 1 goal and had 27 fantasy points. We would love to see that again tonight if that's the guy we're going to roll out in cash, obviously. But my point to you is, on a 2-game slate, Detroit looks okay, and they haven't been shut out since February the 7th. So you have to go back at least a month. They probably get at least 1 goal tonight. And, Detroit could have some goodness here where they get shot. I mean, you do get points for shots on goal. He has given up a lot of shots on goal when he's been in the net. So I get the value play. Obviously, 7,100 for a guy starting against a team where he's minus 300. Like you said, not anything is a sure thing. But the kind of the data points we look at, the over under, what's the Vegas line, etc. Those are all really strong in his favor, but he hasn't had the strongest outings in 4 of the last times he's been in the net.
Yes, and it's like I said, it's almost a no-brainer to start whoever was in net for Colorado. Right. Even the emergency Zamboni driver, I'd take here, against Detroit. And I do see a point where, Jonathan Bernier, he was first off for the Wings too, so he's projected to start tonight. Would I touch him with a 10-foot pole? No, but I'm in the business of giving every option possible to you and anybody who reads this, and thank you if you do read In the Net and Hot Pucking Stacks. But there's just so many different strategies and combos that go in here tonight. But again, it's going to be tough to get away from Hutch, but I can see the other options here, and I could argue each one, and I think that's what we try to do here every morning or afternoon when we bring you these articles.
I think what I'm saying to you, and from me being a tournament player, right? From a tournament player standpoint, Ryan is projected, correct, for Nashville?
Saros
is projected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Juicy, Hussey, Jussc.
So he's 8,300.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
So you've got a $1,200 difference between. I mean, I get it. I completely get it. For me, I'm just looking for the leverage point with the chalk on a 2-game slate, and we're kind of grasping at straws to a certain extent, trying to maybe pump up a 2-game slate a little more than what it is. But you do have to find a way to get leverage tonight, and that's kind of the bottom line.
That's it. Yes.
All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with a bigger slate, not just a 2-game slate, with more information. As always, make sure that you've clicked the subscribe button below and like this video, and check out all the content we produce on a daily basis for all sports. We've got PGA, NASCAR, NHL, NBA, and MLB coming up. All the links are below. Have a great day, guys. Good luck on all your contests. Until tomorrow, keep it cashing. Peace out.